mic's on. Is this thing recording?
Is this thing? Can you turn me up? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Genie the Podcast. I am here with my dear friend, Steve. Many of you, if you've listened to our other episodes, will be furious that he's back because legend has it, he's not even a Christina stan. Like, he's hated on Liberation. What else did you hate on?
That's it.
I don't know. I feel like you hate on something else.
No.
Well, I guess we'll get to it. But
I had some skips on Strip, but everybody has that.
I feel like that was
I
a good
enjoyed Burlesque.
Did we talk about Burlesque?
No, but we watched it.
Oh, we did. I made him watch it.
I believe that in the new version of Reflection, she does too much.
She does, but I think we can all agree on that. So, today we're talking about everybody's least favorite Christina album, Lotus.
Is that a fact?
I feel like it's generally known, yeah. And I think now we know. So we've already listened to the entirety of the album. It took us, an hour and 3 minutes?
Something like that.
It was the extended version, so we got Empty Words, Light Up the Sky, Remix, we skipped. And then what else is on there? Oh, Shut Up. But we'll get to that later. I guess let's get into it. What did you think of the intro?
It's cute. It's setting up the scene. I asked you if it was during the time that she just split from her husband, and you said yes. Checks out. Because I was like, is this about a relationship or the failure of Bionic? Like, I couldn't tell.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all about rising, renewal, rebirth. What's interesting, though, is I thought it was long. Cut to the album not having any other interludes.
Oh, yeah, usually she does.
Unusual.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why the intro is longer.
Maybe.
But I liked it.
A little fun fact about this. I really like the song. I think it's super underrated. And originally, she tried to clear the sample of Midnight City by M83, and it did not get cleared. So she went back in the kitchen with the producer, and they produced something that was vaguely similar. So I think there's a clip somewhere on YouTube about, where they replaced the sound and put the voice over the M83, Midnight Cities.
Did the M83 hear the full album and that's why they made their decision?
Oh, I hope not. But yeah, maybe. But I think it totally would have fit, and I think they just still did a good job of keeping that feel. I think we should now go ahead and address that it did not fit the album overall. I feel like there's something ethereal about the intro, and everything else in the album didn't give this vibe. This is very light and refined compared to everything else. But we'll get into that.
I get it, especially with the album cover. I think it set the scene with the album cover.
Yeah.
But that's not what the album was about.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something very lighthearted. But also, she performed this song. Well, she performed the intro, and then it went into Army of Me, which is track number 2. We'll get into that. And then in the very end, it was Let There Be Love. It was a medley that she did at the Billboard Awards, and it was a hot mess. She did a great job with the intro, but then, of course, the segue into Army of Me, and also, that she had a bunch of people who were quote-unquote, characters, so, people they'd be misfits in the real world. So she had them walking around with, bags on their heads, and the person who was, bigger, they'd be it would be all the words that people would call them. So, fat. Mm-hmm. And this person would be, I don't know, gay or bag or something. I don't know, all the derogatory words. And then they would just, lift the hat or the thing. It was a tacky performance. I feel like tacky is a way to describe this album.
That's interesting because I thought Let There Be Love is more sexual and not really about self-love as much. And so having it be the topic.
It ended up being kind of and now she even uses it as kind of an empowerment, loving, love is love, a very gay anthem.
That's a very gay beat. But
it is so good.
but I don't know.
But yeah, it's an awful performance. It was a questionable time in her career.
She was lost.
Yes, for sure. So then we get to Army of Me, which she promoted as a Fighter 2.0, if you will. And it was pretty good. I think it's an okay song. It has a thumping beat and a disco-y vibe. I just feel like this starts off where this is more similar to the album because it's a wall of sound. So, whoever produced this, I think this one is not Alex da Kid.
I think it is.
He just turned the volume on every single thing on 100. And then her mic was at 400. And it was just, it would have been nice to have like nuance and just kind of like a healthy dynamic instead of just like blaring at us. But I like what it means and what she was trying to say with it.
I actually like it.
What? Shocker.
I know. I thought it was a throwback, like saying like Fighter 2.0. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
Although in the beginning, it did not come off as angry. Like I thought like the sound wasn't meant as angry. Then listening to the words was like, oh, there is like some sense of anger in it, but it was more proud, I would say.
Yes.
And like
lifting yourself up.
Uplifting. Yes. I actually like it. I wrote solid bop.
Bop. Speaking of bops, okay, people really love Red Hot Kind of Love, and I can see what they see in it. I just feel, okay, so like whenever she was writing this album, she kind of touted herself, which why wouldn't you speak highly of yourself in general? But still, she kind of touted herself as like not being like one to just receive tracks from producers, and that she really needed to have these songs mean something and like come from a place, like a meaningful place. Especially because she was coming out of like the divorce and everything, and Bionic and Burlesque, and she really had something to say, allegedly. And then Red Hot Kind of Love was a fun little song. I think it feels kind of generic, and I wrote that it could have been a Katy Perry song.
To me, it was too messy. I wanted to skip it. Like, I really did not enjoy it. The word cacophony comes to mind.
Whoa. Wow. That's vivid. So another one after that, it's interesting because one of my other friends likes Red Hot Kind of Love. Like, she loves it. She's like, oh, that should have been the single. I was like, oh, thank God it wasn't.
No, I thought Army of Me should have been a single.
I think that would have done well,
I honestly thought it was a solid song. Red Hot Kind of Love reminded me of Liberation, where the music is so all over the place.
Yeah.
And like and the drums were jarring. And sometimes I wish like she would just take songs from producers, because I feel like she's too on the nose.
Oh, she did,
in what she's trying to say.
I think that kind of hurt the message of it, just because she did say that. But then Red Hot Kind of Love, I believe, is the one. I wrote it in my notes, but she did not write all the songs on this one. So she did, in fact, write. She did receive. Yes.
Her name is on the contribution, according to Genius.
Great. I don't know if it was enough contribution. It did not save that song for me. The next on the album track list is Make the World Move. I thought this was a fun song, and I admire the message. I feel like it's kind of like a generic, like, you know, let's change the world, you know, you and me together. Hey, let's all be good people together. The CeeLo feature seems super random, or not random, but unnecessary. I think it happened just because there was some like stipulation within her agreement at The Voice that you have to have a feature, or, you know, with every single one of the artists. So she already did Moves Like Jagger with Maroon 5.
Oh.
And then this is CeeLo's feature with her. And I actually believe that he wrote this one. I'm sure primarily. The hardcore Fighter fans will know that before Make the World Moves, there was a song that I think he wrote it, and she did the demo for. The demo's out there, which I have, by the way. It's called Nasty, and it's actually like a pretty cute song, but I could see why it didn't get the final cut. I think it's supposed to be on Back to Basics, or maybe with Burlesque. But it was a good song. So yeah, the quota of meeting the judges, she does not have a writing credit on this song, which is, yeah, it makes sense.
This one was giving me Soar 2.0.
Yeah.
Which is safe to say it's a skip for me.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was also, like, there is too many words. I don't know. The whole album in general, like, has a problem with chorus and getting, like, a proper chorus that is catchy. And this one was included. But the beginning really reminded me of Soar, and my brain soared away and did not listen to the rest.
Did not listen to the rest of the song. We were, because, like, at one point he did stipulate that. It's like, we're going to listen to this whole album and not skip, which I already knew at that point that we were losing him. Next song is Your Body, and I love the song. Which is, I feel like it's underrated because sometimes I forget about it, but I wish she performs it now. And I think the first time I remember her bringing it back after this whole era was the first Vegas residency, the Experience. And that was a whole like thing. And now so she sings it, but there was a long time when she did not sing the song. And whenever she released this album, basically the only performance we got of Your Body was this like live performance on Jimmy Fallon and with the Roots, and they played Your Body, or she was singing it, and they were playing instruments, but the instruments were all office supplies. And that's the only live performance we got for Your Body. I love the fact that Your Body, the explicit version, exists, and I also have that, and it's Fuck Your Body. And
what?
And I wish that would have been on like the extended version or something like official, but it exists and it's out there like officially. It just wasn't officially released, or not that I know of. But yeah, so I have that track, and this was kind of a monumental like moment because up to this point in her long career, she hadn't worked with Max Martin, who, as we know, like he rose to prominence with, people before her, Robin, Britney, Backstreet Boys, and she kind of like touted this as a big collaboration because up to this point, she had to come to accept her like pop roots. And so that's whenever she was like, okay, well, I'll work with Max Martin, but I want to do it in my own way. And so I think she did it. And I think this is a great like song. I love that it's sexy. And also I think the music video is perfect.
This is one of her best songs ever.
Yeah.
Not just the best song in the album, but also in general. Mm-hmm. It's a solid song from Christina. It's very Christina. Like, it's like a song that is hers. Like, I wouldn't like it with somebody else. Yeah. Just like the way she sings the chorus and also like how sexy it is.
Yeah. And they couldn't do it.
Although it also has like a weird lyrics because she always has weird lyrics.
She does.
Especially that "is you in?" Like, it's just unnecessary.
Which one?
Like, I just need to know, is you in?
Where is that?
It's when I was just like, boy, hey boy,
hey boy.
I just need is you in?
Oh, I didn't know that. She said that.
Yes. Let's blame it on Max Martin.
Yes.
Because he always has funny English.
Yes. He is from abroad. I think he's Swedish, I think.
But the video, I was obsessed with the video.
Yeah.
It's my favorite video to use glitter instead of blood. The second one is the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
I've never seen it.
Album Off with Heads. Heads Will Roll.
Oh, Heads Will Roll, yeah. I never saw
because they also used glitter. Ooh. But she did it better, in my opinion.
Yes.
Also, it was during her thick era, which to me, Fat Christina was sexy.
Yeah.
Super sexy. She was very hot. The giant boobs because she was breastfeeding. Like, I was all about it. And she really looked hot in the video.
Yeah, right.
She turned me straight.
Oh, God. I remember there was random like things that leaked, and so maybe it was on purpose or not, but she was like preparing the era, and so she was like filming the music video, and like we got a sneak peek of her coming out of that like pink truck and going to that motel, and like this is how like nuanced my like brain is. I know that she was wearing that black cutout dress, and it was Michael Kors with the pink wig, and her ugly like pink platforms.
I love the whole like pink motif. Also, it gave us that iconic gif of her sitting on a computer and clicking her.
Yes. How's my day looking, Lorana? You're so going to have a killer? Yeah.
I don't know what she means, though, whenever she's like, you already know my name.
Oh my gosh. I don't know specifically, but I just know she was like claiming it. This was her like pop anthem. Like, yeah, that's something I actually wrote down. It's like, I love whenever she's like yelling, I think you know my name. And also, I love when she says, it's true what you've heard. I am a freak. I'm disturbed. And I was like, okay, lean into it. Okay.
And I think it's still like as hot now. Like if you play it now, it doesn't sound dated.
I know, right? I think so. It sounds good.
Speaking of dated, the next song.
Let There Be Love. I think that one was perfect. So I guess there was a lot of performances because this one she did perform live. And she did it because she was the coach on The Voice that she sang predominantly, but also she had the help of her last two people, I guess, on her team. And it's like, okay, Christina, this is your brand new song, and you're going to let these random amateurs like sing on your track. Oh, this is also the era, everybody will know, about her Party City wigs. Oh, it was interesting.
Who was on her team? Was it the first season when she had Frenchie?
No, it was Frenchie.
The only season I watched it.
I don't remember, but no, it was a man and a woman, and they were like young. They were like super young. I like how they transitioned it into being more like a gay, like love is love kind of track, and not so much about like sexual. So one nugget I do want to mention is that this was written by like Max Martin, Shellback, but also Bonnie McKee, who is super vague. Like a lot of people might not know who she is, but she actually wrote a lot of like hits for and with Katy Perry. So she did like, I think a lot of the work was on Teenage Dream. So a lot of those hits. So she actually helped to write this song. And there was a quote, when we wrote it, Max and I, we had that hit feeling and Christina was on The Voice and doing all right at the time. I don't know what happened. It was such a great song. I don't really know that it was officially released, though. She made a weird video that was kind of half-assed. That was another one where I was like, this is weird.
I have problems with this because the song itself, it's of the time. Like a lot of music sounded like that in 2012, where you have that dance beat. It's like very generic, nothing about it is special or stands out. Like anybody, you'd heard it millions of times, but also the lyrics were stupid and there's nothing sophisticated about the song or good. Yeah. The chorus is only good because it has Christina's voice on it.
Yes. I also like that climax at like the bridge, I believe.
All because of Christina's voice.
Yes.
But when it comes to the words, it's me. So hearing that they switched it to be like more about like love is love makes sense because it reminds me of the David Guetta Kelly Rowland song When Love Takes Over.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Because it's basically the same thing, but the lyrics here are bad and it's really about sex, and I feel like they were not sure what they were writing. But it made me also think that really what Christina should focus on is giving like a dance album where like it's basically dance music with her screaming.
Oh no.
Like, and that would work. Like it made me think of the Dua Lipa song from her latest album where she's like, how long, right? Like think of Christina.
I actually hate that song.
Yeah, but it would fit. Like that's what I'm
Christina
thinking.
Could do that better, but yes, I actually
right?
get that
so
one. So
like that kind of thing would work for her.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sorry, Ms. Bonnie.
Yes.
Do I redeem myself as a fighter because I'm pissed off for Christina?
Sure. So she did have a music video. So this is after the second single, which we'll get to later. Kind of didn't do well. And so, our favorite fighter, she like tends to abandon something whenever times get a little too tough. And maybe it was probably also RCA at the time. So they kind of abandoned ship and Let There Be Love actually started doing well. And I think it was like trending or something on the dance like Billboard chart. And so out of nowhere, also randomly, because you said that she was like thick Tina, so she came back, and I think at that point she was on a Maxim cover, and all of a sudden, which she loves to do, she'll pop out of nowhere and she'll have this banging body. So she started out the era as like a little bit thick, and then she came back on Let There Be Love, and she had this like beautiful hourglass figure, and she looked fantastic. And also, so it was definitely homemade. I wouldn't say it was half-assed, but it was homemade. And she had like random people in it. I think it was like Nicole Richie, her stylist, and there's like random people, and they were holding up signs of like "Let there be love," like justice, caring, random like positive affirmations.
Which is not what that's only the chorus could fit, not the actual verse.
It's fine. It is what it is.
Okay, moving on.
Next song, Sing For Me.
I appreciate the message and I support it. And it's what you said about her wanting to sing something that she's more connected to. And she has a message. But this is where I say that there isn't a lot of focus on like having a strong chorus because you're just it's too on the nose. It's too like wordy that the chorus is not as smooth as I would like. So it's not really, it could have been better, I feel.
For this one, she actually does have a writer's credit because she does not for Your Body or Let There Be Love. It feels like she's singing for herself. I think that's her like embracing the criticism and, like whether or not she sings, a lot of her criticism has been like, oh, she screams too much or this or that, or she does too much like ad libs or whatever. So this one is kind of like the lyrics are just kind of like, I'm going to do it myself. And like, it is what it is. Like I sing, it's like a healing thing for her. So she wants to live her life for herself and not for like the public or her critics. There are pieces of the song where she has beautiful delivery that also tends to be very shouty. That's even more so for Christina. So like also this whole album was recorded in her Red Lips room. So this is her home studio.
Wow.
And there was actually like a big calm. I remember like I don't have an issue. Like maybe I need to go listen to it with my like nice headphones and like whatever, but people at the time were just like super upset. Like who the heck approved her to like work from home? She needs to be in office.
She was ahead of the times.
Yes, my queen. The production could be better. It was, but that's kind of like with the whole album for me. It's just like I think it could have been saved with a different production. A lot of it's just like clunky.
I can hear that.
Yes. Next track is Blank Page. I'm gonna let you speak on this one first.
I liked it.
You better like it.
I liked it. Like the rest of this album, mostly, the chorus is weak. Like, nothing is catchy, but I liked the meaning where she was going for it, except I thought she was giving too much power, which kind of, like, surprised me in her, like, saying, like, I'm a blank page for you to, like, fill up and stuff like that. That I thought she was giving too much power away, which surprised me considering the majority of the album is either about her, like I'll finish myself, like, if you don't know what you're doing, right? And then here she's being, like, giving too much power, in my opinion. So that surprised me. But besides that, I thought it sounded like a nice ballad dish.
I think this is a beautiful song. I think it's probably like one of the standouts from the album. It's a Sia track. I think it's probably leftover, maybe. So, in my mind, it's leftover sessions from either Burlesque or Bionic. And it's a quality ballad. I think it alludes to her divorce and the trauma that they both went through, without being too specific, because I feel like that's one thing we can treasure about her, is that she's not been like shady, or, you know, like what she really cares about is her like raising her children, even co-parenting in a healthy way, you know, because she has like that traumatic upbringing. So she really just cares about her children and doesn't want to be like bragging on, you know, each other with the ex.
That's nice.
And so she performed this song on the People's Choice Award, and at the time I just thought it was a weird performance, but then like after that I listened to it again. I've listened to it kind of a few times, every once in a while. But it was a hard song because I feel like she relates to it, and this is kind of like her admitting wrong, and that if she could go back in time, that maybe, you know, there was things that she wouldn't do. Not, a lot of it is like hurt that she wouldn't do, and that they both sides created that hurt. But I think it's a regret for all that. And I think there's a line that I really love. It's like about the mistakes, and I'd undo the hurt. I would do anything for us to make it through. I'd go back in time and it would be all right. And I think that's super sweet. It's simple, but it's relatable to everybody every day.
Do you feel like you can hear the Sia in it?
No, not as much as other songs that like she's written and recorded of Sia's. Other songs I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally like see where the influence is. Also, by the way, Christina was on the cutting edge working with Sia first, like before even Sia was like a pop artist.
This was before the wigs.
Before the wigs.
When she showed up with her on The Voice.
Before Sia was trapped in the basement with Beyonce, she was on Bionic.
When was she with Beyonce?
What do you mean? She did Pretty Hurts.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, next one, Ceasefire. Oh god, you go.
She needs to simmer
a little bit.
I also don't like how she sang it. It's kind of like the way she was singing it kind of reminded me of like Makeover, like how she's trying to like approach it like differently, but I really don't care for it here. But it could be just the song.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I wrote that it felt like a Rihanna reject. I hate the clunky production. I believe this one is Alex da Kid. I like the message, you know, resolving 4-piece, but how you said the verses and just like how she sung it, it's like very robotic, and I didn't care for it.
I think it's because of the song, because like the way she sang, for example, Make Me Over is tripped. Like how she changed how she sang and she was approaching it differently, but it fit the song. And here, I don't know.
It didn't,
And it's partially because the song, like you said, it's not hers. It's not giving her.
I think it's like the pre-bridge where she's like kind of harmonizing with herself, and it's like very ethereal. But that was really pretty. But I hate the bridge. That's where she's like also delivering more robotic like lyrics, and I didn't write them down, but I was just like, oof, it's not good. White Flag, I Surrender. I surrender indeed.
I looked up Alex the Kid while hearing this because I saw his name multiple times and I saw other music he produced, and I realized why I have not enjoyed the majority of his stuff that he did for Christina, because I generally don't enjoy the music he produced for others, specifically what are they called? Imagine Dragons. And I was like, oh, I can see that, like how maybe it works for Imagine Dragons, although I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
But
somebody listens to them,
but not me. And I was like, I don't like the approach that a lot of them. And I'm not an expert on production, so I don't know if it's mainly a production thing or just a songwriting thing or just.
I'm not an expert on production either, but I'm excellent at being critical.
Oh, I can talk shit about stuff.
Yeah, so I just think like he's super heavy-handed. It doesn't feel like it sounds like maybe he learned how to produce a couple of beats, and that. Maybe he doesn't really know, like, music. I don't know, I'm just alleging him. That's all alleged, but it's all clunky, very, like, straightforward.
It works for a rocky song, like something like Imagine Dragons. I can hear it because it's more, like, about the strong drums and, like, shouting.
Yes.
But here, I feel like, was this really... Like, the music doesn't know what it wants to be.
Right. So I don't know who A&R person, like, connected the two of them, but I guess we have them to blame. The next one is Around the World. Oh, okay, well, I guess I'll go first. I hate the intro. Like, cause she's yelling, and then she alludes to, voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir.
That's the only part I liked.
Oh, I don't, just because she, like, already alluded to Lady Marmalade also in Nasty Naughty Boy, and it's like, girl, let it go.
But it works here because she's doing international
love.
That's basically, I think, what inspired this, actually. Like, I think, like, that Pitbull song. I did not like the countries she counted. Like, I feel like how she mentioned countries was so random.
Yeah.
Like, first going, like, to Japan, and then Tokyo to Milan. I was like, why are you, like, jumping? Like, the way she's jumping between countries.
Because she's taking her jet all over the place.
I was like, where is she going from Brazil? I forgot.
Australia. And then to Canada.
And then, like, why, like, randomly to the Congo. Brazil
yes.
to Belize.
Oh, so, my gosh, she's going to the Congo to save the Congo.
So it makes no sense. And I don't like, generally, I don't enjoy whenever they're switching between cities and countries.
Free Congo.
Free Congo, indeed. But, I don't like whenever they switch in general between...
just mentioning cities?
Yeah, and like in that other song with J-Lo when she's like randomly Africa.
No. I hate, yes, all these other ones are like cities or whatever, and then she mentions the whole last continent of Africa.
And I understand it's whatever rhymes, right?
Yes. And also, Jennifer Lopez probably didn't write that. But anyway, the chorus is lazy. All around the world, all around the round. Yeah, so no, lazy.
No.
A rhyming Ibiza with please ya. It's so loud and noisy. These producers know no nuance. Is what I wrote down.
It's not good.
It's not.
It makes me sad. I swear I'm a fighter.
Yeah. No, I'm the best fighter. No, I think it's just because, like, I can be critical. Obviously, I have a whole podcast, and it's just, like, not trashing her. It's because I love her so much.
It's because I know she can do better.
No, for sure, no. Circles is the next, and I feel like this is kind of like a redeemer. One time it was described to me as a not filler, but also not a single. I feel like because of the content, it couldn't have been a single, but also it's definitely not a filler. It's just in the in-between. And it's just like a good, like, fuck you to the haters. I often quote, and I had it in my like, bio on Instagram for, like, the longest time. Look at how I glitter. And she's like, look at how I glitter, glitter. But there are pieces, so, like, I think, in one of the verses, she's like, bitcha, clicka, clicka.
Yes.
But then I do, like, pieces of it. So then she says... because I'm freaky, fly, fresh, and you just bitter. But the thing is, delivery is, like, how it matters, because, like, it was believable.
Is it a little too much? Yes. Is it kind of fun? Yes. Is it still the Alex, like, production type? Yes. To me, it's Bobblehead number 2, where the lyrics is stupid, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah. But I love that it's, like, unapologetic. She owns the song, and it's, like, one of the few Alex songs that I enjoy. And I think probably because the other ones have been kind of like mid-tempo kind of wannabe ballads that he's attempting, but this one's kind of like upbeat. So maybe that's what he should stick to. Best of Me. I love the message and the vulnerability. There's a line, I think there's a area in one of the verses, like, are you happy to know I'm unhappy alone? Take your shot, I'm wide open. And I think that's, I don't know, I think it's powerful to admit that, you know, everybody's always wanting you to be like, oh, I'm a strong, independent woman. Like, no, I'm actually not happy, I'm not doing well, you know, her with her ex. It's like, you know, it broke me, like us not being together, and I'm vulnerable. So I think this one definitely is just the victim of a bad producer. And I remember, whenever we were listening to it, I was like, oh dear, we're getting to the spoken word part, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I totally forgot. But
it was my favorite part. I love a spoken word.
But I think it could, like the whole song could have been salvaged with like maybe more intimate or like different instrumentation, but so different producer,
a stronger chorus, because again it's the same thing of the chorus not being catchy, because I think a lot of very popular songs would like get saved by just having a chorus that you can easily sing along to, and none of these choruses are easy to sing along to, and this one is included. I like the message, as you said, but maybe that's the problem, is the focus on the message, and her wanting to deliver this idea affected how the song comes out in the end.
Right.
And this was also an issue I had with Liberation, where I felt the chorus was not chorusing. So it would be hard to sing along to, or just like go smoothly, like flow through it.
Yeah. So then we come to the original album's final track, Just a Fool. And you must be a fool if you believe that this was going to be the last song, because then we have like 3 other ones on the deluxe edition. But Just a Fool was a track with what's his name?
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton. James Blake. Like, no, that's not the right one. Blake Shelton, again, filling a piece of her contract, having him on board. I actually think it's pretty good. And so this is pre-Nashville. So she was like featured on Nashville as like a guest, and she was like a little pop artist who had a heart of gold, and she really wanted to be in the country scene, but she made it as a pop artist. I think this song actually should have been a hit, and it did okay. It just didn't do well enough, and this is whenever they finally stopped promoting the album. They performed the song, I think, once on The Voice, but also once on The Ellen Show, and then they're kind of like, okay, done, sees. Blake was lucky to be on it.
Part of the contract.
Yes, but it didn't fit the album, of course, you know, because it's just, everything was so loud, clunky, and just like hip-hop, rock, fruit, you know, whatever. And it's just like this nice, like, country song. This song was written by Claude Kelly, Wayne Hector, and Steve Robson. And she worked on some of the tracks on Bionic with Claude Kelly, as well as Burlesque, the soundtrack. And it's rumored that, you know, she's booked some time to get with him to work on the next era. So hopefully that happens, because it's pretty good. I like what they produce. What are your thoughts on Just a Fool?
I'm biased because I'm not a fan of Mr. Stefani.
Oh, is it because you were Team Miranda
Lambert?
Yes.
Oh, they were together?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They were supposed to be like the modern, you know, Elvis and...
I don't know. I think this is not supposed to be like a Hate on Blake podcast, but I think...
That's our other podcast, the Hate on Blake.
Like, I remember when they had him as the sexiest man alive, and I was like...
It's PR.
Where?
Yeah.
And I'm glad I heard this song, because it confirmed to me that I hate his voice. I've never heard him really sing, and I was like, maybe I'm not giving him credit. Like, I'm not a big country fan, but I enjoy a little bit of country. Yeah. I can be a little bit of country.
Oh, okay. I can be a little rock and roll too.
Yes.
But I can be a lot of thug.
But I hated his voice. I did not like their harmonies, because of his voice to me is not doing it. Again, the chorus, like every chorus in this album, is a little bit rough, and I don't know if I really didn't enjoy it because of the song itself, or because I really dislike Blake Shelton.
Oh dear. If you don't like this song, you should definitely listen to her beautiful ballad that she did for Nashville. It's called Shotgun.
I have not watched that show, but I should watch it.
Actually, it's not bad. After some point, it does get, it drags on. Just watch until Brandon gets killed.
Spoilers!
Spoilers! she dies. Or does she? But she was on a couple of episodes, and her character sang this song, Shotgun. She performed that live, and it's a beautiful song. I really love it. So let's rush through these last 3 songs like she did with the production of them. Light of the Sky. I think at some point it was used as a promo song for some nonprofit. It's a victim of Alex da Kid. It's not her. It's not her vocal peak, as exhibited on performances of The Voice. Like, it's not even objective, or no, sorry, it's not even subjective. You could tell, like, she was tired, and in performances, like, she was grasping for those notes. She really needed to go on rest. And so, not the best. It was okay. It's just like total filler.
Definitely a skip, but also it's giving the type of music they play in the montage after someone goes on to like America's Got Talent.
Yes.
And then they're hugging their family.
Totally. Oh my gosh. Empty Words. This one, she does have a writer's credit. The message is there, but the words aren't. All the producers are on the same, like, ilk. Or of the same cloth. It's just so loud, and it's clunky and noisy. There's no finesse.
I have no words.
Empty words for you. And then the final one. Shut up. I guess it's cute. It's campy. It's fun. Reminiscent of Bobblehead, kind of like what you mentioned earlier with Circles. Alex da Kid can produce like these more fun tracks, but don't give him anything else because he's not capable. This time with Christina, and definitely didn't belong on this album sonically. I think it was just like, that's why it was probably like the deluxe version. The vocal runs on this track at some point are similar to a track that she did. It's called Hello. And it was for, like, a random promo that she did for, like, Mercedes, like, back in the day. Just FYI.
I will shut up about this song.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know. The highlights, of course, are just, like, for me, intro, Your Body, Let There Be Love, and Blank Page.
I'll add Army of Me. I enjoyed Army of Me.
Yeah.
But really, it's all about your body and her body in that video.
Yeah. It totally was worth it. And I think that song really should have been a hit. Like, it should have.
It was a hit to me.
It's a hit. It's ultra platinum on my iPod.
Which is why it's upsetting whenever you hear her album and you're like, oh, I heard this one song and I thought the album will match it.
Yep. Oh, well. That's how they used to get us back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our perspective on Lotus. I don't know when I'm going to post this. I think I'll post it now because I didn't post one this week. And we'll be back next time and we're going to discuss the debut because it is debut time.
And it's
the 25th anniversary.
I'm going to prove that I am a fighter because I like that album.
He's a liar. Okay. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe on all the socials. It's at Genie and A Podcast. I recently was locked out of the Instagram, but I got use of it again, so follow me there. Also, if anybody is going to the Voltaire the last day, August 31st, I will be there, so say hello. I'm pretty shy, but I'll try to be friendly. I promise I'm friendly.
Sure.
Okay, bye.
Bye.